Today we are trying out a new format, so I'm going to tell you all about that, as well as we're going to talk about the best time to book a cruise, whether you're traveling with young children, whether you're traveling with young adults. A lot of really helpful tips here today about that. We're going to talk about insurance. Of course, we're going to be talking about the Sun Princess. Two important things to tell you about that. We've got some weather impacting cruisers, so let's go ahead and get started. Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips. Today is Wednesday, it's January 17th of 2024, and if you aren't subscribed to our channel yet, will you please hit that subscribe button? We would really love to have you join us. You can share your wealth of knowledge with us, and we'll have a good time. Also, if you appreciate my updates, would you please give this video a thumbs up? I really appreciate your support, so thank you. Now, I wanted to let you know two things really quickly. I said this in my other video, but this is a new background here for us at Let's Go Travel Tips. This is the island of Delos, or Delos, however you want to pronounce it, which is off the coast of Mykonos. I took this photo. There is no filter. The sky is really that blue. It is really that beautiful there. So I just wanted to let you know, if you ever go to Mykonos, book the excursion that takes you over to Delos. There is so much history there, and it is a beautiful place to stand on an island in the Mediterranean and just soak in history and all of the beauty. So wanted to tell you about that. The other thing is we are going to try a new approach. We're going to try to do a shorter video every day that really just has some of the headlines, some of the things that I think you really need to know about. Then we're going to do another video where I go much more in depth on it, like I usually do with things, share my experience, what other people have shared with us, and give us a lot more to think about with what those headlines are. I realize that some people don't want that, and I realize that some of us love it. So we're going to try in this for a little while and see how it works. So we're going to try putting up two videos for a while and just see how it goes. So we'd love to have you join us on both of them. And if you don't want to, that's okay. If you'll join us on one of them, that would be fabulous. Now, let's start off talking about the Sun Princess. Yesterday afternoon, I did the video letting you know that the dining was available to book in the Sun Princess app. I was really excited about that. I still am, but I have got a few more things that I want you to know about that. First of all, when I told you about it yesterday, there were 5 specialty dining restaurants available to book, and that is still the same. And there are 2 levels of the 3-level main dining room. They've got level 6, 7, and 8, and only levels 6 and 7 are available to book. Now, I know, so let me know if you're booked on another cruise and that Deck 8 is available to book of the main dining room. I know that I'm sure we're going to have a lot of VIPs from Princess on board because it is the inaugural sailing. First time the ship has sailed. I'm wondering if they're inviting press. I would if I was in charge of all of that, as well as lots of happy people to sail on Princess like we are and all of you that are coming. So I'm wondering if they're maybe saving that Deck 8 for those people to, or maybe it's an overflow, taking reservations on deck 6 and 7, and if you don't make a reservation, deck 8 will be available to be seated. So we'll just kind of let you know when we get on board how everything looks and how that's working out. But please do let me know in the comments if you are booked on a Sun Princess cruise, when you're going, and if you're able to book your dining, and also let us know if you were able to get the dining that you were hoping for. I'm going to, when we get on board there, it's going to be a busy day on embarkation day on the Sun Princess. We're going to try to get to the sanctuary and book that. We're going to see what other dining reservations that we can get. There are some that are that are showing on the floor plan of the ship on Princess's website that are not on the list of things to book. So I don't know why, but we'll find out, and maybe we won't find out why, but we'll try to get a reservation to dine there so that we can tell you all about it. All right. The second thing is over on a Princess Cruises passenger Facebook page. I think it's called Princess Cruises Passenger Forum. Someone put a comment that said, anyone booked on the February 8th sailing of the Sun Princess, have you received any message from Princess if the ship will be ready for the inaugural trip? Because apparently the ship is not 100% finished yet. So I love that our very own Eric Woolworth, and I call him our own because he joins us so often, he says, and this is how rumors are spread. Nothing is wrong with the ship, and it's going to be ready. So I would add, I think the ship is going to be ready. I know that sometimes the launch of a brand new ship is delayed, but they let us know further out than 3 weeks. Today it is 21 days. 21 days from today until that ship sails. And if it wasn't going to go, I believe they would have let us know by now. A lot of the people going on that cruise are flying from the United States. It involves expensive plane tickets, hotels before, and everything to do with that. So I think they would have let us know, in addition to thinking we're going to go on a cruise. The other thing that I would say that's really important about that is over the last, I want to say 6 months, I have heard a lot of rumors about the Sun Princess, and I have just decided not to say anything about them. I think that she's going to be ready on time. I think we're going to all have a wonderful time. Well, I looked at the cruise mapper right before I did this video today, and she is docked just there at the Fincantieri shipyard in Italy. I know that someone with a Spanish news channel posted some footage of her doing some of her sea trials. She has been out seen sailing in the not too distant past. And keep in mind that they can have all the workers on the ship working on everything while they are sailing around, while they're doing all of the things they need to do to have her ready for us to embark on February 8th. And so I really think she'll be ready to go. I think she's going to be spectacularly beautiful. I'm really interested to see the changes of what is different from what we're used to with Princess as to where Princess is taking us next. And I really like to think that we're going to be really pleased with it. So yeah, we'll share it with you. And so be ready to come along with us. If you're not going to be able to squeeze inside our suitcase, you can watch our videos and come along with us. So do let me know, though, about that dining. I'm anxious to see. I don't know if they're going to add more dining options as we get closer, or maybe some of you who are not sailing for a while will have different dining options to book. So much to find out about, isn't there? Now, I came across, one of you were so kind to send me a story about the Coast Guard in Puerto Rico being called out to medically evacuate a passenger off of Holland America's New Amsterdam. It said that it was an 81-year-old passenger, and she ended up having a fracture in her ankle that required more help than they could give her on the ship. So they medically evacuated her. So here are some things, and that led my thoughts to what I've been looking into insurance lately. A Let's Go family member, you might remember a few weeks ago, a lot of us talked about it. I talked about it. Tony talked about it. I think I know Dawn talked about it as well. We've got this person. Most recently, we heard of it in Asia not too long ago. And then most recently, I believe it was in Mexico. Someone is sick on the ship. They have to be taken off to get the care that they need in a hospital. And the family members shared that before the doctors would perform the surgery, they wanted an exorbitant amount of money. For some reason, $38,000 sticks in my mind, but it was a lot of money. And so the people ended up having to call their family members at home, scramble to get that. And they didn't just want a credit card for it, they wanted it cash. And you can't just go to an ATM and get $38,000, even if you have it in your bank account, right? And so as we talk about things like that happening, we always think of insurance, at least I do. But the really interesting little thing that goes with that is I have never heard of an insurance company that you can call and say, I'm here in a Mexican hospital, and they want $30,000 for my family member here to have their insurance. Can you please wire that immediately so they can do the surgery? I have not seen one that does that. And so if any of you have come across a way to manage that, or have heard of anything to do with a company that would do that would work with the hospital, anything, will you please let all of us know? Just pop it in the comments or send me an email and I'll let everyone know, because I know that so many of us will get travel insurance, or we have health insurance. There's lots of different ways to approach that, and I think it's really very personal. But for example, Gordon and I, we always get insurance for when we travel. We've got that annual policy now. So there's a lot of ins and outs to it. You like to think that means that nothing bad will happen, but you never know. So let's have that discussion in the comments, and if anyone's got good insurance tips for me on that, let me know and I will share it with everyone else. Also, I was thinking in the comments that you could share if anything like that has ever happened to you and kind of what you did to make it work right, okay? Another important thing to talk about here is, we talk about taking families on cruises, and you never really think about there being a cruise that you wouldn't be able to book. But someone in our Facebook group was commenting and saying that they were trying to book a cruise for their extended family, and included in that group was a child, and they were not able to book the cruise. For some reason, it wouldn't go through. So in the process of calling Princess and finding out, it is because that sailing had already reached the capacity for the number of children that could come on the ship. Now, if you didn't know this, all of the cruise lines do that. Everybody has in their system, and I don't know what the number is, and I don't even know that it's the same between Princess and Carnival, Royal Caribbean, all the cruise lines, but I do know that they actually do pay attention to that. I think that part of it is because, they've got their kids clubs on board. They want to provide a certain experience for the children, for the families that have children, and so they have to watch how many children they get so that they don't get more than they can accommodate. Another really important thing to go with that and really to think about is, as soon as you know that your family wants to do, especially your extended family that would involve children, think about booking as soon as you know. I know that sometimes some fun ideas come up last minute with families, and away you go. But when you can plan in advance, definitely do that. I don't hear really often of it occurring that someone can't go because there are so many children. But you think of it, they were looking at the beautiful new Sun Princess in August, and schools are out, a lot of them, as well as being a brand new ship. And so it certainly is at a time that a lot of families would want to go. So keep that in mind as you're booking your vacation. And the other thing, two other things to go with that. One would be that if you don't want to sail with quite so many children, also keep your eye on those summertime sailings as well as during spring break. And spring break, that window I really would submit is look at when Easter is, because if Easter is late in April, then a lot of spring breaks will go later. But generally it's from like the beginning of March, clear at least through the first week of April. So keep that in mind as you're booking your cruises. And also the length of cruise. If like we've got that Eclipse cruise that we're going to go on, the Discovery Princess. It starts on April 3rd, which really could be during spring break time, but it's a 10-day cruise, and so you don't usually get quite as many children because they would have to be getting back to school, right? Not that nobody's going to bring their children, but just kind of think of things like that. I'm really excited for that cruise, but really think about that. And then here's another tip I've got for you, because one of our Let's Go family members shared it with me, and I really appreciated it. So they just got off of sailing on Carnival on the New Year's Eve cruise, and so they went, and they have young adult children, and people in their 20s, 30s, 40s, and a lot of times over the holidays that's kind of a hard time for everybody, and everybody wants to feel included. And sometimes people that for whatever reason, if they're single, whatever, they kind of can feel like left out a little bit. And so I really liked the thing that she told me. They went on this cruise, and their young adult children ended up being able to do all of the fun things, go to all of the events that they have, all the fun activities until the wee hours of the morning. And then the people in the family that didn't necessarily want to do that could go to bed at what time that they wanted, but that everybody in the family had a really nice time, and it gave the young adults a fun way to celebrate and to have events to go to and things to enjoy that maybe they wouldn't have had at home, and but the whole family could go and enjoy the whole cruise. So I'm just putting that out there for you, and I really appreciate that, because honestly I hadn't thought of that, but that's an excellent idea. So kind of think outside of the box and the fun ways to go, and share that in the comments with us if you wouldn't mind, because that helps all of us. I'm sure that some of you have other ideas like on how to do things with families and make sure that everyone feels included and can do everything that they want to get to do on a family vacation. The last thing, so guess who are going to be sailing out of Galveston or into in or out of Galveston this weekend, or New Orleans for the next few days? They're expecting some snow and some ice. Here in the United States, there has been an awful lot of cold weather. It's been really cold here. We live in the western United States. I had the pleasure of talking to someone this morning in the southern United States. It is so cold there. So much cold. It's temperatures that when we get them, we think, oh, it's cold. But they just don't see temperatures like that. And so we've got a lot going on here. But those parts are likely to be impacted, at least with people trying to travel to and from the cruise port. It might impact some flights, especially if they get ice. So I just wanted to let you know, if you are going to be sailing in or out of New Orleans or Galveston this weekend or anytime during the week, would you please let us know how everything shapes up? And I hope you have a wonderful time, but definitely allow a lot of extra time for your travel, because traffic can really come to a standstill, especially if there's ice. That makes everything so much harder. So let me know if you are on board a cruise ship. Let me know how things are going, or if you're traveling right now, let me know what you think about our new format. And I'll see you all again here tomorrow. I'll be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.